pricing and valuation of interest rate forward contracts. So let's get started with the definition of spot rates. The spot rate in this context is the annualized return on a default risk-free and option-free zero coupon bond with a single payment at maturity. So that we are all on the same page, let us look at this example. Imagine you bought a zero coupon bond today at time t equals to 0, let's say for 0.90, and you were promised a single payment at maturity of, let's say, $1. Bear in mind that when it comes to a zero coupon bond, there will be no coupon paid before maturity. Also, we assumed that this zero coupon bond is default risk-free. That is, there will be no defaults on this payment. And we also assumed that this zero coupon bond is option-free. That is, it does not contain call option or put option. If we are to discount this $1, which is in future, back to today, we would discount it using the spot rate. So discounting it using the spot rate is expected to give us the what today, which is 0.90. So the annualized return that you earn from this investment is what we call spot rate. The next question is, what is the relationship between discount factors and spot rate? So that we are all on the same page, we would use the same example. You are expecting $1 in future. To discount this $1 in future, you would discount it using the spot rate. From discounting this $1 back to today, the value you will have today is what we call discount factor. So we have it here. Please note, discount factor is not the same thing as discount rate. Discount rate is similar to spot rate, but it is not the same thing as discount factor. It is worth noting that spot rate is also called zero rate, which is why if you want to write spot rate for short, we typically would write it as ZI. It is also worth noting that a discount factor can also be interpreted as the price of a zero coupon bond or a zero coupon cash flow. And this is very logical, since you will be paid a cash flow of $1 in future. How much is this $1 in future worth today? So discounting it back to today in order to know the price of the bond is what we call discount factor. Implied forward rate. Implied forward rate is a break-even reinvestment rate that links short-dated and long-dated zero coupon bonds over a specific period. So that we are all on the same page, let us look at this timeline. Imagine we have year 0 here, this is year 1, and this is year 2. Let us also imagine that we have available Z2, that is spot rate for 2 years. Let's also imagine that we have 1 year spot rate, that's Z1. So this gap here will obviously be our implied forward rate. So this implied forward rate is the lending rate that starts in 1 year's time from now. It does not start here. It starts in 1 year's time from now, and it is for 1 year. We could also have implied forward rate 1, 2. So if that is the case, let's say this is year 1, year 2, and year 3. The implied forward rate will be this. Lending or borrowing starts in 1 year's time from now, and the lending or borrowing is actually for 2 years. If we have something of this nature, so let's say this is year 1, this is year 2, let's say this is year 3, and this is year 4. That means lending or borrowing starts in 3 years time from now. So it doesn't start here, it starts here, but the lending or borrowing is just for 1 year. It is worth noting that spot rates Z1 is 1 year spot rate, Z2 is 2 year spot rate. It is obvious that Z3 will be 3 year spot rate. It is worth noting, even though we already discussed this, that spot rate can be computed from discount factor. So discount factor I is equals to 1 over 1 plus the spot rate raised to power I. So if we are dealing with 2 year spot rates, then this will be raised to power 2. If we are dealing with 3 year spot rates, then this will be raised to power 3. So let's look at the relationship between the implied forward rate and the spot rate. So that we are all on the same page, let us look at this timeline. This is year 0, this is year 1, and this is year 2. So this is Z1, that's spot rate for 1 year. Z2, that is 2 year spot rate, but we are interested in the implied forward rate. Here, this will be implied forward rate in 1 year's time from now, because the lending on the borrowing does not start immediately. It starts here, and it is just for 1 year. So the relationship is this: 1 plus Z2 raised to power 2 should be equals to what? Before I move on, why is it 1 plus Z2 raised to power 2? This is spot rate, and we agree that spot rate is annualized rate. So we have one annualized rate here for Z2. It is now rolled over for the following period, and that's why it is raised to power 2. Then should be equals to 1 plus Z1, but this is just for one period, times 1 plus the implied forward rate in 1 year's time from now for 1 year. The next question might be, why do we have 1? The assumption is that at time t equals to 0, you invested $1. So we keep rolling over this $1 to cover the whole period. So I'm sure we should agree with this. 1 plus Z2 raised to power 2 should be equals to 1 plus Z1 times 1 plus the implied forward rate in 1 year's time from now for 1 year. Just a quick way to know that you are right on the exam day. You need to ask yourself, how many pairs of brackets do I have here? We have 2 pairs on the right side. Then technically speaking, we also have 2 pairs on the left side. This is 1 pair, but it is now raised to power 2. Moving on to the next point I have here. So let's say this is year 1, let's say this is year 2, and we have year 3 here. So this is spot rate for 3 years, spot rate for 2 years, then we have spot rate for 1 year. So I can write the equation that links spot rate for 3 years in relation to the forward rate as this. This is Z3. That means I would roll over 3 times because it is annualized rates. Should be equals to 1 plus Z1. That's just for this times 1 plus the implied forward rate in 1 year's time from now, because it doesn't start immediately. The borrowing or the lending starts here, and it is just for 1 year. Then times 1 plus the implied forward rate in 2 years' time from now, and it is for just 1 year. And that's exactly what we have here. It is worth noting that the whole of this, that's this now, is the same thing as 1 plus Z2 raised to power 2. If you disagree with me, you can look up here. So we can rewrite 1 plus Z3 raised to power 3 as equals to 1 plus Z2 raised to power 2 times 1 plus the implied forward rate in 2 years' time from now for 1 year. Also, to see if we are right, we have how many pairs of brackets here? 2 and 1. That's 3 on the right side. Then we also have 3 on the left side. So this is another formula. I'm sure we should be comfortable with this now. It's worth noting that when it comes to the forward curve and the spot curve, this forward rate in an upward sloping curve will be higher than that of the spots.